So welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning back in. Today we're gonna have a look at the Rodenstock Rodagon 50mm f2.8 enlarger lens. So if you're interested in this, stay tuned. So I found a Rodenstock Rodagon 50mm f2.8. I slapped it onto a 3D printed Leica M adapter and coupled it with the Tech Art autofocus gadget for my Sony A7 Mark II. And for once, Google didn't leave me hanging. This isn't some forgotten accessory brand whose only legacy is maybe it once had optics. Rodenstock dates back over a century as a serious optics manufacturer known not just for playful slogans but for building lenses that once helped craft stunning images long before Instagram even existed. And this pedigree shows. Before we dive into how this lens behaves on your modern mirrorless camera, let's take a moment to appreciate who Rodenstock actually is. Because if we're honest, this company's history matters to how this lens performs today. Rodenstock was founded in 1877 in Munich, Germany, and long before anyone dreamed of smartphone cameras or mirrorless autofocus, they were already meticulously grinding glass that photographers trusted. The company became especially respected for precision optical engineering, for surveillance lenses, high-end photographic lenses, and enlarger optics. This exact category is where this lens came from. In a darkroom, enlarger lenses were not toys, they were tools. If a lens couldn't faithfully project tiny negatives to large prints without distortion, poor edge sharpness, or ugly color shifts, it simply wasn't used. Rodenstock's enlarger lenses earned a reputation for flat field performance, uniform sharpness, excellent contrast, reliable correction of aberrations. This isn't vintage nostalgia glass. This is a company that spent decades refining optics for professional reproduction work. And that legacy didn't vanish when film darkrooms became retro cool. It carried into how these lenses resolve today on digital sensors. So when you mount the Rodagon on a 3D printed adapter, you're not just adapting some random barrel, you're wielding an optical design with roots in German precision and photographic craft. If lenses could have personalities, the Rodagon would be the nerd at the party who quietly outscores everyone else on the exam and then fixes their answers for fun. Getting this lens to play nice on your Sony A7 Mark II requires more hardware than launching a space rocket. You need a 3D printer, you need a Leica M adapter, you need a Tech Art autofocus adapter, and a lot of skills and time. Yes, the payoff is worth it. You can actually focus to infinity without spending a fortune on native gear. Now let's cut to the chase. This lens is absurdly sharp. Rodagon lenses, especially at their intended working apertures, resolve fine detail with authority, rivaling some modern optics, especially when stopped down moderately. Sharpness isn't just in the center. It extends well towards the corners. Precisely what you want when transforming tiny negative details into large digital files. For an enlarger lens, originally designed to highlight every grain and nuance on a negative, the Rodagon's contrast and color fidelity are excellent even by digital standards. Stop it down to around f5.6 to f8 and this thing looks like it belongs on your A7 Mark II, not in a lab drawer. With the TechArt adapter handling focus, you get a very, and I think it's earned honestly, the Rodenstock Rodagon 50mm f2.8 doesn't just defy the usual vintage lens on a modern body curse. It makes some modern lenses look like they took the day off. Its history as a precision enlarger lens isn't just trivia. It's the reason this glass still performs at a high level decades after its heyday. This lens has two little problems. Problem number one is the minimum focusing distance, and that is not really good because of the way I handled the focus. So it's not the problem of the lens, it's the problem of mounting the lens and my method of mounting the lens. The second problem this lens got is the plasticky feel. The lens itself is completely made out of plastic, just the glass elements and the aperture blades are made out of metal and glass. The rest is feeling quite plasticky. But if you can work around that and if it doesn't hinder you, you get a brilliant optical performance. So who should use it? Photographers who love adapting surprising lenses. Anyone chasing edge-to-edge sharpness on a budget. And people who want digital files that look like darkroom quality. You should avoid it. Those who hate getting hands-on with adapters, Nikon and Canon shooters, because they have no easy path to find focus to infinity, and anyone expecting native autofocus lens as a convenience. It's a lot slower. Some closing thoughts. Once in a while you pick up a piece of glass that makes you rethink vintage adaptation. Where other lenses feel like compromises, the Rodagon feels like a gift from optics engineers who actually cared about what light does to film and now to pixels. If lenses could brag quietly, this one would. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and have a good one. Goodbye.